REFAEL ben AVRAHAM HaLevi. Today is the 30 days for his departure from this world. The NISHMAT Yosef ben ZILPA. It's been a year since he passed away. And also we have YITZHAK ben DEVORAH, also 1 year. Nuchatam Eden. And so too we should think about all those people who passed on during the time of Corona. Because, Rahmanut, these people who left, they left, as a lot of them left b'dmei yameim, which means they left very, very young. And some of them left in the old age, but old age is not an excuse to die. Old age is an excuse to live. Everybody has excuses to live, not excuses to die. We say, of course, obviously, we have to understand that when people have to go, they go. When it's time to go, it's time to go. There's a famous Gemara in Masechet Chagiga. Listen to the story. The story goes as follows. There are two people. The Malach HaMavet was given an order. Tzav Malchuti is given an order from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The Malach was told, go get me the neshama of Miriam. The Miriam that he was supposed to get was the Miriam that was, I believe, the one who, not the babysitter. He was supposed to get the hairstylist, the lady that did the hair. So the Malach HaMavet who was supposed to go, I guess he was too busy, and he sent his messenger instead of himself. So as he sent him off, the messenger went, and instead of bringing the hairdresser, he brought the babysitter. He comes there, and the Malach HaMavet looks at him, he says to him, how did you do this? He says, I'm not able to do things like this. How are you able to pull this off? So he says, I see you don't like it. Should I take her back? He says, no, you brought her. Leave her. Let her stay. And the Gemara over there asked the question, how could this be? They asked the Malach HaMavet, everybody has time to go. Everybody has his time. So how could it be you took somebody's shirot? So he says, yeah, we took him early. So what do you do with all those extra years that a person was supposed to live? So the Gemara says, if they find a Talmid Chacham who's mevater al midotav, I find a person who easily, he says, let's go. He says, don't pay attention. Yeah, just laugh at the whole thing. Don't pay attention. Don't litragez. Yeah, get over it fast. If the Talmid Chacham, a person gets over it very fast, those extra years they give to the Talmid Chacham. They give it to the person who's mevater al midotav. Someone's ma'avir al midotav. But still need to be understood. All the Balei Musar ask this question. How to understand such a Gemara? Itachen davar kazeh? Could it be that there are mistakes in Hashem's world? It looks like that there are mistakes in Hashem's world. And we know that there's no shitting. No shitting has mistakes in Hashem's world. So the Balei Musar, they explained the following. Rav Mila Zatzal gave an explanation, said like this. You may look at it this way, to think that, we understand that there was a mistake done. The angels can look at it this way, to say, we know that the mistakes are done. But in Hashem's world, there are no mistakes. And if she had to go, she died because there was time for her to go. The Malach Hashem. What do you mean? He doesn't know? He doesn't understand the ways of Hashem? Yeah, he does not understand the ways of Hashem. The Rambam makes it clear to us. The Rambam says that there is levels of Malachim in Shamayim. And levels of Malachim, right, it goes by the higher the Malach in a level, the more he understands. And you should know, I want to make it clear to you, they get to understand how much they don't understand. They get to know Kama Hashem lo mvinim. Because we know that the Kuzari says this, Rav Miller points this out. The Kuzari says when the Malach, who gets once a lifetime, he gets to a point to say Kadosh, 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 to Kadosh Baruch Hu, right? He says Kadosh, Kadosh, Kadosh. So we understand that the Malach realizes, right, that Kadosh Baruch Hu in 3 separate worlds, right? In 3 different worlds, he is Kadosh. Yeah. And we say the Targum of the thing in Kedusha Uva Letzion, the translation is there. But the Kuzari says like this. The Kuzari says you have to understand something. When the Malach says Kadosh, 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 it's written 3 times in the Pasuk, but in reality, once he starts saying the word Kadosh, it's eternal. He says Kadosh. No, he says wait. Kadosh. No. Kadosh. No. Kadosh. 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 He just keeps going at it. Because once he's given that permission to say Shirah before HaKadosh Baruch Hu and he realizes the greatness of Hashem Yitbarach, he goes into a shock that he keeps saying Kadosh, 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 keep going and going and going. Because this is only to tell us how much even the Malachim do not understand who HaKadosh Baruch Hu and what He is. And that's why this lady who passed away, even the angels were, so to speak, convinced. Yes, there was a mistake. That's why she died early. In Hashem's world, there's no mistakes. In Hashem, we don't understand the way Hashem runs this world. The famous thing we had, right, the Gemara brings down by the Asara Arugei Malchut, by the 10 people who were executed by Roman government. Malchut Adish'ah. Hashem in Kom Damam, right? Hashem should take the vengeance for them passing away. The Gemara says over there that when the Malachim confronted Hashem in Barach, they said, "What? Zu Torah v'zu Schara, that's how you deal with people? This is how much they did for you, Hashem in Barach, and that's the retribution, that's the payment?" What he would say to them? Shtoku, quiet. Right? If you don't keep quiet, what's going to be? I'll bring back the world to complete emptiness. And you ask yourself a question. What is this supposed to mean? Hashem Yitbarach, that's how you answer? They asked you a good question. Hashem doesn't want to answer. One way to understand is like this. Hashem was trying to tell them, you want to understand what I understand? To understand what I understand, you have to become me. Like the Zohar says, Am Hakim, Hashem Barach, you are the wise one, and nobody, and not Chokhmah that's known to us. Here, you are able to understand things and not with the way, not something that we can comprehend. That's one way to understand. But another way to understand, the Balei Musar say, that we are able to understand what Hashem Barach is. And Hashem says, if you really want to understand, I'll bring the world back to complete emptiness, and we'll start from there. Story by story, and I will show you why it had to be this way. You know, I remember Rabbi Tzadka, Rav Yosef Khiyayev, Alav Shalom, he said a very interesting thing. He explained this so beautifully. You know, we have the Tahana Merkazit in Israel, right? The Chadasha, Ishana, whatever it is. So they have the Tahana Merkazit. And if you see when the bus terminal, and the bus starts driving, yeah? In the beginning you see the bus gets full. And as it makes the first stop, you have few people get out, few people get on. As you go a little further, people get on, people get off. And you're going, and the guy who's sitting there at the bus ride from the very beginning, he's already getting nervous and frustrated. He wants to say, hey, you paid the full fare. Why are you getting off right now? So the guy turns back to him, he says, hello, I have to get off here because that's where I'm going. How could you ask me why are you getting off right now? You don't understand why I have to get off right now. That's why you're asking me. If I pay a full fare, why am I getting off now? Kiviyachol, same thing in Hashem's world. Hashem Yitbarach says, you can't ask a question on me. Why this guy get off on this bus stop? Why the other guy get off on the other bus stop? Hashem runs this world. And the way Hashem runs this world, people have to get off on time. People have to get on time. And you cannot question anybody why he had to get off early or why he had to get off late. Some people get to stay on the ride all the way till the end. Some people get to stay only part way. But do we understand why it's like that? No. Hashem says, I have my reasons. I have my reasons. So, there was an interesting concept that I heard one time in interpretation. We were trying to explain one time, I remember by the Askala of Alav Shalom, when your mom passed away, your father passed away, Yaakov, Nuchatam Eden. I remember that we were trying to explain the reasons why we say Kaddish. And we said the reason why we say Kaddish is, I heard recently one time an interpretation, right now lately, and it doesn't make any sense. But I will say another interpretation. The interpretation why we say Kaddish is the one that I like the most. One that's simple, that everybody understands why we say Kaddish is because we're trying to make up. We're making up. We're making up. Meaning, Papa had Avedot, Mama had Avedot, brothers have Avedot, and we have to undo those Avedot. What's Avera? Avera is telling Hashem, don't tell me what to do. Right? But what's a Kaddish? Kaddish is telling you, Hashem, I'm sorry. I wasn't supposed to speak to you that way. It's disrespect to speak to you that way. Gadal vit Kadash. May your name be great and may your name be always elevated and sanctified. So this is a form of tshuva. And who could do this tshuva? A son can do it, a daughter can do it, the brother can do it. And this is how it's done. We say Kaddish, you have to have 10 people. And why we have to do it when there's 10 people? Because this we have to set the biggest form of kapara. What's the biggest form of atonement? Is when you do a Kiddush Hashem in front of 10 people. So that's why we have to have minyan to say Kaddish. That's one interpretation. Another interpretation which I loved, it's marvelous. And I heard it and I said to me, wow, how true it is. And I tell these people, based on this interpretation, that why are you stopping? Keep going. I always have this rule. I'll tell you soon. He said the following interpretation. Rav Dishon said from the Kadmonim, he said the following interpretation. We know that in Hashem's world there's 600,000 main nishamot. And we are as parts of every neshama that we come down to this world. And we are here in this world to praise HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to look for Hashem Yitbarach, to praise Hashem Yitbarach, to sing to Hashem Yitbarach, everything for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That is why we come over here. So to speak, when a person leaves this world, yesh chisaron ba'olam. The world is missing. It's missing. There's 599,000 neshamot right now say that are still praising Hashem, and there's 1% that's not there. So we tell the person who is a relative, say, Allah, hey, what's incomplete, you have to make up. And so to speak, I tell people, when you see somebody pass away young, I say, you know what? You got to live his life. You have to make up whatever he didn't make up. You see people live at 40s, 30s, Rahman al-Islam, 2, 3 years old, 5 years old, 1 year old. Especially this past year, we saw, right, like Minesweeper. You saw one detonated, went off, exploded, another 100 exploded right next to it. You saw people go like fleas. Some things are unaccounted for, some things were exaggerated about, but you saw people go. At the end of the day, those corona victims is not something that people should deny. You see those people who get out of the hospital, they get this virus knocks them out to the extent where they can't move their hands, they can't move their feet, they cannot do anything. Complete, total knockout. And it's Rahmanut, it's very, very sad to see these people being paralyzed. This is one of the worst things. We should never see this. And so I tell people, you have to make up people's life. Say the Kaddish for him. And once you're saying Kaddish for him, make up, let's go. The guy left early, what are you doing? Why are you stopping? It's very important to do this. To praise Hashem and to praise Hashem. Why do we come to this world? We come to this world to elevate Hashem's great name. That's what the Jew is here to do. A goy is also obligated here not to curse Hashem. He is also obligated to bless Hashem in Balach. But very unfortunate for them that they're holding by what's called total loss. They're not doing anything for Hashem in Balach. Who's doing? The Jews. But from all the Jews, who's doing? A very small percentage. And we have to do our utmost. If nobody else does, and when we do it, we have to do it with full fire. Light it up. Make it, to praise Hashem in Balach to the fullest extent possible. Chaserlo. It's missing. We gotta make it up. We gotta give it to Hashem. We have to make up what others don't do. And you should know, like the Gaon Bevilna used to always say, what to do exactly in order to awaken other people. Sometimes it's very difficult to go to a person on the street and say to him, come on, this guy gets very upset. Bug off, leave me alone. What do you want from me? Let me live my life. You like the way you live, I like the way I live. What is it to do? So the Gaon Vilna used to always say, spread Kedusha in the world. You will be surprised how much effect it's going to have on that person. The more Torah you learn, another word of Torah, another word of Kaddish, another mitzvah, and the performance and the happiness and performance of the mitzvah will spread Kedusha through the world. Us doing mitzvot over here will spread more Kedusha v'Tara throughout the area. And these people, little by little, you see, they'll say, you know what? Yesh baze, yesh dvarim bego, there is something to it. It's very important. There's no halakha that says he's supposed to say Kaddish and stop after a short period of time. He's saying Kaddish, always tell like Pringles, right? Once you pop, you do not stop. Keep going. Keep going. And there's no point of stopping at all. Yeah, people will tell me you're not supposed to say too much Kaddish. And Malbin. Say Kaddish. The person did not. Person lived a short life. And old people, don't say he lived a full life. He could have lived more. Allah, my father always screams and yells, don't wish me 120. I only have mortgage for 100 years. Say, let me breathe a little bit. Let me breathe a little. Guys, we all have a very long mortgage over here in this world to Hashem Balach. And the mortgage has to be paid. And those mortgages, the collections are coming. Hashem Balach, he demands. If I'm a father, where's my respect? If I'm a king, where's my honor? Where's the fear? We have to put our utmost, whatever we can, especially now it's Chodesh HaGeulah, the month of Nisan is a very special time. And in this month we saw a lot of miracles take place. We want to see miracles? Let us behave as if it is Chodesh HaGeulah. Let us be prepared for the Geulah Shlema B'ezrat Hashem Barach. What's the Geulah Shlema? Is to make Hashem Barach's name great. If we cannot do it in real physical sense, completely, fully, back to Yerushalayim, back to regular life the way it was, the way it's supposed to be, so let's do something over here. We should do whatever we can. Let us do whatever we can. Let's do everything possible we can in order to elevate Hashem's great name. And the way we will do it is through Torah, through the mitzvot, through the masim tovim, a little bit more and a little bit more. No, B'ezrat Hashem, may these divrei Torah be aliyah for the neshamot of these special people who passed on. Nuchatam Eden, Hashem Barach, B'ezrat Hashem should b'tfiloshinan, let them stay there before Hashem Barach, pray for us and be there on our behalf. B'ezrat Hashem, we all be zocheh to see the Geulah Shlema B'ezrat Hashem Barach.